after you take some of these prison programs, at some point, you start to develop your own thing.
So I became a drug and alcohol counselor up in there. I did that. I went to various, different college programs, free college programs and whatnot. Took some psychology, philosophy. But when Avenal, when they made me the education secretary, I was responsible for putting groups together. And so they opened up this little warehouse, probably about as big as this room. They opened up this little warehouse with all these different programs in there. So I pick one program and I'll learn it. I'll go through it with my boss, Miss Edwards, she's the vice principal. She'll send me through the course. I'll take the course in about a week or two, and then I'll teach the course to other people. So it'll be conflict resolution, it'll be anger management, it'll be impulsivity. It'd be impulsivity control, it'd be self-esteem, it'd be all these different types of programs. And then when I was doing that, I thought I had accumulated enough, good chronos, the good paperwork, to where when I went to the board, my suitability for release will far outweigh my unsuitability for release. My plan was to hit them with so much good chronos, so many things that I've done, that it would be overwhelming that they would have no choice. And if they did deny me, I can take it to court and say, look, I've done all this and they still tripping. So I went to the board. And they gave me a 3-year denial. And I'm disappointed. I was a little disappointed. I was a little let down because I thought I was on point. And the lady came and she said, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I want you to take it back to the yard, tell your friends, you know what I mean? She said, we're not ever gonna release convicts to the street. We only releasing citizens. So I need you to get into the mind state of a citizen next time you come up here. This 3-year denial, that's not punitive. Right, you can, in 6 months' time, if you got everything we want you to get, you can come back. But we think it's about 3 years is enough time for you to understand what we're talking about and get it right. I said, bet, okay. I went back to the yard and I looked at the list that they gave me of all the things that they wanted me to get. So everything that they wanted me to get, I just made a program for it and I ran that program. They wanted me to go through a program on Insight. I created a program for Insight. They wanted me to go through a program on anger management. I created a program on anger management. Conflict resolution, I created every last one of them. And then I taught other people on how to facilitate that program so they can show and teach other people.
How do you research the information you need while in prison to create a program?
Read, you know what I mean?
And you have access to these materials?
I have access to all the books. I'm in education, right? Access to the book, access to a computer. The computer wasn't hooked up to the internet, so, but it had information I can take in there.
What would you say was the biggest challenge for you in creating these programs?
Other inmates that didn't think I was gonna be able to do it. That was because, you had other cats that was in there, they was trying to get programs done, through leisure time. They write up a leisure time, a proposal, and submit it to the program director to see if they can get a program done. But working with Miss Edwards and Avenal, right? She taught me how to circumvent all that and go straight through education, because they get paid for education. They get paid for making new groups. If it don't cost them nothing and they making money from it, it's a win-win, right? So I just started creating programs like crazy.
Now, while you're in prison, going through your transformation, the streets, they probably heard about what you was doing in prison when you was turning up, and you're probably hearing a little bit what's going on in the streets. During these years, a lot of people are losing their lives on the streets. Momo, he gets killed, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a whole host of other guys during your, almost 3 decades in prison.
Yeah.
What was that like when you would hear about a homie that either you grew up with or grew up under, you finding out, they got killed?
It made me stop calling the hood. Because it seemed like at one particular time, I think from 89 to about 92, 93, every time I called the hood, it was somebody else got killed. You know what I mean? We had lost a lot of good dudes at that particular time. And it's like, man, like Hogue, Momo, Devil, it's just like, and the list goes on. Like, E-Rock, it's like, man. So I just stopped calling the hood.
Which one of those losses really hit hard for you?
Momo, because he had just sent me some pictures of $100, right? Just sent me a bunch of pictures of $100, and then the next time I called, his mother answered the phone and told me what happened. So I was like, oh, damn. Yeah.
And what's it like processing the death of a homie while incarcerated?
I mean, it depends, right? And I'm gonna say it depends because of this. Momo died in an accident. Wasn't nobody I can fault for that. You know what I mean? I can curse God out, but that's not gonna help nothing, right? So I just had to take that, you know what I mean? I cherish his memories, you know what I mean? I got his obituary and going like that. However, I'm telling you at the early stages, if it was done by an enemy, oh yeah, as soon as I see him, we got to get in. I got to do something. As soon as it's on and cracking, we gang banging up in here. We gang banging out there, we gang banging in here.
But isn't there a little bit more structure at the level 4 where the higher ups try to prevent that because everything's racially divided?
So they try to. But you got to understand, this is the mid-'80s, late 80s. This is an influx of, this is CC Rider, you know what I mean, and CK Riders jumping off, you know what I mean? It's like, this is what's going down, right? And so it's like, you have older homies that's been there, that got the stuff, but they ain't never seen nothing like this. The crack 80s produced a lot of individuals, right? A lot of guns, a lot of money, man, and a lot of people in prison. So when I get to prison, it's me and all the dudes I hung out with on the streets. All these young dudes from different neighborhoods. And we pushing the line. We pushing, we YGs. We the first generation YGs.
Thanks for watching StreetTV.net. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button below and click the bell to receive alerts and notifications. Feel free to comment below so you can give us your feedback, and be sure to watch the 2 related episodes to the right. If you want to support this platform or follow us on social media, visit the links in the description. And thanks for watching StreetTV.net.